Welcome to another video. This one's starting just the same as all the rest, but with a slight twist. I walk around the blue car telling you how bad it is and all the things that we're having to stick back on it, and then that goes into the video. Whereas this one, slightly different. I am going to give you a rundown of where we're at with the track day project, but today we're having a day out in the GP1, and I'm going to tell you all about how I won it in a raffle, and we're going to go to a mini fest show at Stamford Hall, have a good time with the GP1 Owners Club. And in this video I'm going to have just a bit of an update on the two cars. So obviously we've got the Track Mini, which is an ongoing project, and then we've got the GP1, which is a garage princess, let's say. And today we're going to go out and we're going to have some fun. So here she is, what a beauty, in the morning sun. Proper photographer would do something really nice with this, I imagine, but here we go. Right, so we're all loaded up, ready to go. It's about an hour's drive. Just had it valeted, it's had a paint enhancement, a bit of a mop over all of the paintwork, taking out some light scratches and just cleaning it up. It looks absolutely glorious. It's not actually been out since it's had the clean done, which was great. The blue one's looking a little bit sorry for itself. It's having a few issues and we'll talk about them in this video, but let's get on the road and get down there. But yeah, this GP1 is absolutely beautiful, and I did win it in a raffle. I would never have bought a car like this, but now I've got it, never want to let it go. But we can talk about that as well, so let's get on the road. So it's a short drive down the M1 over to Rugby. Now it's a beautiful view with the sunset behind the power station. We did spot a Mini broken down on the hard shoulder before we was even off the slip road. So nice bit of graffiti on the way down, some nice views, and it didn't take us long. So in true boy racer fashion, the meeting point for the show was the Tesco car park just down the road from Stamford Hall, and a whole load of GPs turned up all together. The GP3s mostly. It's obviously a popular club with the GP3 crowd, but there were some GP2s, and I was the sole GP1 at the time as well. When we got to the show, there was a few more and a bit of a mixture, but there were really the newer ones were out in force. GP2, the GP3, and another, and another. Down here, and the weather is really holding out actually. It's looking a bit grey, but I'm expecting rain today at some point. There's quite a good turnout with the GP Owners Club. There's 3 GP1s here so far, a few GP2s and quite a few GP3s actually. So it's looking like it's going to be a really good show. A nice big stately home behind us, and there's a lot of new and old Minis filling up the car park. So let's get back to the story about my GP and where it came from. So I bought the Mini Cooper S in March of this year. Wanted to do track days, okay, and then in the process of learning a bit more about them, I discovered the GPs, learned up, and I already knew they were a thing, but once you start learning a bit more, you realise what kind of car they were and how special they were. Now these, for those that don't know, it's based on the Cooper S, but it came heavily modified from factory. No rear seats, a lot lighter weight, and massive 18-inch wheels, which are just a bit of a choice, but they're cool. And it's also got 218 brake horsepower, so 50 brake horsepower more than the standard Cooper S, which is just incredible for the same engine from a factory as well. So that is super cool. Now, these are limited and numbered, so there's 2,000 of them made, and only 500 of them reach the UK. And I don't know how many are on the road at the minute, but I think about 200 of them are still going. So it's a really smart car. Now, I was actually looking at GP parts for mine when this came up on a raffle site. So UK Minis were running the competition for it, and I thought, you know what, I'll have a go. It's not something I ever do. I had a go on that, and I didn't win. And it was a Saturday night. Put the kids to bed. I thought, oh, best check out that competition went, and yeah, I didn't win. So wasn't really disappointed. More cursing myself at being an idiot and spending 50 odd quid on competition tickets out of the blue when I've never done it before. However, with these competitions, there is normally a cash prize, and this had a £10,000 cash alternative, which I didn't know anything about, but someone took the cash alternative. So the first thing I knew anything was we was in the pub on the Wednesday night, and our pub's like it's on a park, and there's football teams and things like that there. So our local, really family place. And my wife says, I'm just taking one of our kids' friends back home, nipping them across the park, taking them home. So I'm sat there on my own, pint in my hand, looking on Facebook, and the competition relaunched, and it was the same car. The cash alternative had been taken, so it was up for competition win again, and it was due to be drawn in 15 minutes. So I didn't even think twice. I just had another go. Thought, well, whatever, double or quit. And I actually watched the draw while on the football field, kicking the ball around with the kids, and keeping an eye on the Facebook live draw at the same time. And as he read it out, he said, this guy's in the chat, and he said he was here for the GP, and I was like, that's me. And lo and behold, we won the car. So back to the show, you can see that there's quite a good turnout with cars, trade stands, just general public viewing, as well as people showing the cars off. There was engine parts, gearboxes, tons and tons of bits and pieces, mostly for the classic minis. There wasn't a lot of turnout for the newer minis in parts. There was some really good club stands you can see here. Each of these have got different flags, and then there's the Mini Girls group as well. Just look at the size of this thing. There we go. Bit different, isn't it? So, getting back to the story about the car then, after we've had a look around a bit. Yeah, so we went up the next day, kept it. Didn't take the cash prize that they were offering, because I thought that sort of money for a GP, it's well worth just keeping the car. And I've had it ever since, and not really done many miles in it. I tend to drive the Cooper S more than I do the GP. But it's just a fantastic bit of kit, and every time I get in it gives me a massive smile on my face. And yeah, it's a keeper, that's for sure. So that's where we are now then. So I've got the GP and the blue Cooper S, and it might seem a bit extravagant to have two cards, but then again, some of the people I've spoke to today have got, like the guy parked next to me had 19. So I'm fine with the two, and the reason I've kept them both is because I don't fancy stripping out and really working hard on the GP. I don't think it needs the roll cage and all that sort of treatment. Whereas the Cooper S, as a dedicated track car, I can do that, and I can work on it, and I can not worry about like devaluing this special bit of machinery I've got. So that's where we're at. The blue one is going to be track car, and the GP is going to be show car, or you know, just enjoying car. I'm still going to daily it. When I say daily, I've got a Ranger that I use for work. So popping around to the shops, I will be in the GP, and that's going to be the one that I'll enjoy on the road. And the Cooper S, I will probably advance that to being a full-time track car and off the road. It's going to save me 400 quid a year in tax for a start. But we can maybe look at getting a trailer for that down the line. This year, certainly, I like to have it road legal, so I can do road tests in it just to make sure everything's running smooth. But over a long period of time, I think the GP I will keep as a dedicated road car, and the Cooper S will be turned into a full-time track car, and that's where we'll go. So that's Mini Fest done and dusted. I've just pulled up back home. The rain held off till about 2 o'clock, and maybe 1:30. Took about an hour to get back, and it was a good day. So there's a lot of minis there. Obviously, it was a really big show. So I went over to the Mini National Day at Southwell Racecourse a few weeks ago. And while that was a really nice show, it had some good trade stands and things like that, especially for the modern Mini. It wasn't a patch on the size of this one. This was a huge show with a lot of trade stands, but a lot of it was classics. Even though the majority of the cars there were modern Minis, It was the classics that the traders showed up for. So yeah, there's a lot of GPs. I went with the GP Owners Club. So there was maybe 7 or 8 GP3s, a handful of GP2s, and then there was 3 GP1s on the stand. And then walking around the rest of the show, there's quite a few in the car park and on other stands as well. So it was really cool to see the cars out there. Some really nice minis out and about on different stands with the clubs as well. And it's really good to see some of the ideas that people had and what people are doing with their R53s in particular. So yeah, another one, another good show wrapped up. I'm going to try and do a few more of these next year. And I'll be particularly interested if there's any more like mini orientated track days. So I know Lowen ran a track day at Donington earlier in the year, and my car wasn't ready for it, but I think it'd be great to see a mini dedicated track day. That'd be really cool. So I think that wraps things up. So hopefully you had a nice tour of my mini GP1, and you've seen the other mini in my life as well as the track mini. That is kind of the highlight of this channel. So if you've enjoyed this, let me know. I will try and get some more content on it. Next episode, I guess we'll be back to the blue one. Before we get into that though, just a rundown of where we're at with the blue one and what's going on. So my last track day, I destroyed another resonator pipe, and Gravity Performance replaced it again under warranty. Now I'm at a point where I don't know if it's just faulty exhausts or if the car is doing something which is destroying exhaust. And I've had mixed messages from people out there. I've also done quite a few road tests now to try and narrow down what the issues is. And I think it might be the fact that it needs a supercharger service. I think intake temperatures are sky high, which is causing the ECU to overcompensate with fueling. Now, when it does this, it puts extra fuel through, which is sending flames out the exhaust, which, while it's really fun, it's also not great for the car. So if that's the case, it could be that the supercharger needs a service and it's causing that. So next time I do a video, it will probably be front end off, supercharger off, timing chain, cat cam. While I'm there, I'm going to do all silicone hoses. I've got adjustable top mounts to go on. I've got discs, pads, new fluids, and it's going to be a front end all apart and getting back together again. So big service incoming, and then after that we're going to go back and have it tuned again, because I've had it tuned once and I don't know if it's the tune that's causing the problems. Either way, the guy who's done it has been really hard to pin down for any follow-up investigation, and he's just not interested. So I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to use maybe 1320, but they're a 2.5 hour drive from me, or maybe one of the other ones in the Midlands that have come highly recommended. I did speak to Lowen at the show today, and while they were really knowledgeable and they seemed to be able to do a good job, they didn't recommend retuning the R53 on its standard ECU. He said they don't do a lot of it anymore. They'll do power runs and they'll do the odd remap, but they don't do a full like custom tune without doing an updated ECU, which is expensive, and I don't want to go down that route. So Lowen, even though they're in Staffordshire and quite close to me, it probably want to avoid for me. But they seem like a real good bunch. I had a nice chat with them on the show stand today. So we'll see where it goes. So that's that. That's a catch up. That's the GP1. Catch up on my track mini. Thank you again for enjoying this episode. If you've got this far in, thanks for sticking around. If you like the GP1, let me know and I'll try and do some more coverage of it. If not, we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks very much for watching.